What's your least favorite type of player to play against?
A pusher.
A moonballer.
Someone with no pace.
Okay, why?
Pushers.
Player to play against.
A pusher.
Pushers.
Play against.
Pushers.
Oh, the people that love every ball.
Okay, why is that?
Pushers.
A pusher,
Why?
because it's just not fun.
Okay.
Why does everybody have a problem with beating a pusher? I got it for you. 3 easy steps. Okay, first one is stop calling them a pusher. Disrespecting their game does not help you at all. You need to have respect for their game. And it only works at this level where people have such a disrespect for someone who's a conservative or a consistent player. If we were watching football or basketball and a team was more defensive minded, we wouldn't be like, oh, what's wrong with them? How come they're defensive minded? We'd be like, oh, that actually wins championships. In fact, there's names called defense wins championships. So it's widely respected amongst like high level professional sports. But for some reason here, when people are playing, if someone hits the ball a little bit weaker or they're just more consistent, they don't go for it as much, we then disregard them as not as good of players. And really the person's doing that because they have to feel good about themselves, about the way they play, and belittle their opponent, which is really sad. And the main reason why the disrespect is bad is because once you think that they're a lesser player than you, then you feel even more pressure that you should beat them or there's something wrong with you. And that extra pressure only makes you play worse. Number 2, be patient. If someone is a consistent player and they get a lot of balls in, that equals long points. So when you step on the court, think to yourself, okay, what do I have going on later? Do I have 2.5, 3 hours to spare right now? If you do, which you should if you're playing a match, just realize that the match is going to take a long time. Be less in a hurry to finish off the points and be able to rally for a little bit longer. It's okay. Number 3 is be yourself, okay? Which seems kind of simple, but here's a simple play that ends up happening a lot of times when you guys are out there. And you'll know what I'm talking about as soon as I start saying it. So typically what happens is if there's one player that hits a bit stronger, has better form than the other player, the person who's hitting stronger will hit some good shots, maybe hit a few to the corner, get the person on the run. The person who's consistent finds ways to get it back into the court and then win the point. And then that really frustrates the good player or the person who hits harder. And so they then start going, okay, I can't do that. They keep getting it backed. So they start trying to hit harder and aim towards the sidelines a little bit more, in which then they make more errors. And then they lose even more games and get even more frustrated. So then they go, okay, I can't lose that anymore. I'm gonna make the points last longer. I'm gonna hit it more in the middle of the court. So then they start hitting softer, hitting in the middle of the court, and they get these really long consistent rallies like that, and then they still lose because the other player, who is the pusher, is better at playing that way. So then you end up kind of flip-flopping back and forth, trying to hit hard, trying to hit soft, and then next thing you know, you're losing the match. Instead, what you do is you just hit your regular shots. If you hit your regular shots and they hit their regular shots, you might make a few more errors than them, which you probably will because they're very consistent players. But if you continue to hit good, nice, hard shots and you continue to run them back and forth, side to side, you will wear them down. They will hit shorter and shorter balls, in which you'll get easier approach shots, easier volleys, easier overheads, and then you will be able to work the point, frustrate them, and then you can beat them. It takes a while to break them down, but you have to go through the process. Okay? Typically, you might see it being like the first set ends up being like a really close first set because you're going through this battle. But if done properly, a lot of times by the second set, they start to wear down and maybe they start trying to overhit because they're tired of being run around by you all the time. Okay? But the key is you just hit your shots over and over until they hit weaker and weaker balls. Got it? So let's go back. Number 1, respect their game. Just because they don't hit the way you do means there's something wrong with them. The goal is to win, and they found a way to win, so don't be mad at them for it. Number 2 is be patient. Do not be in a hurry. It's gonna take a while. Number 3 is play your game. Do not go outside and try to hit harder than you normally would or easier than you normally would. Hit the balls hard. Just plug in the formula. Next time you see and you're about to play someone who's, we're actually gonna call him a counter puncher instead of a pusher. Next time you're playing a counter puncher, you're gonna just take your time, hit your shots, work the points, and you will never lose to another pusher again. All right, do it.